We like to think that we grow out of our past, we become adults and leave childish things behind. But world-renowned speaker and physician Dr. Gabor Mate reveals a painful truth. Your deepest emotional wounds were likely formed in childhood, and they secretly controlling your adult life, whether you realize it or not. Your reaction to stress, your love life, your career success, even your self-worth are all dictated by those early experiences. In this video, we explore how childhood emotional wounds silently sabotage your future and what to do about it according to the wisdom of Gabor Mate. From perfectionism instilled by critical parents to people-pleasing ingrained from emotional neglect or self-sabotage born from early trauma, these unconscious patterns keep you stuck in harmful cycles that feel beyond your control. The good news is that by confronting these buried wounds with compassion instead of blame, you can heal your nervous system and break free. The brain wires itself in childhood for survival, not happiness, and without awareness, we keep replaying the same painful scripts over and over. Now, before we dive into the science of why this happens, let us hear some real-life examples from those who have faced the music of their past and come out stronger on the other side. Maria, a high-achieving lawyer, spent her whole career chasing the next promotion only to find herself burnt out and miserable. Her perfectionism stemmed from a critical mother who never praised her but always criticized. Only when Maria confronted this wound did she realize her need for external validation was destroying her joy. Similarly, take David, a talented artist who struggled to set boundaries and always put others' needs before his own. This people-pleasing behavior dated back to an emotionally distant father who ignored him unless he won an award. It wasn't until David explored his childhood feelings of abandonment that he understood his hyper-focus on approval. Now let's look at Sarah, a successful entrepreneur who sabotages every long-term relationship of hers by getting cold feet at the altar or ending things just as they become serious. This self-destructive pattern traced back to a father who left the family when she was young, making her terrified of commitment. All three of these individuals unknowingly carried the emotional baggage of childhood into adulthood, causing them pain and holding them back. But by facing their wounds head-on, they found freedom, joy, and deeper connections. Now here's the science of why this happens according to Dr. Gabor Mate. As children, we develop what he calls a body memory or a nervous system blueprint for survival in our environment. Our brains wire for safety, not happiness. Growing up, we observe our parents and caregivers to learn how to meet our needs. If our needs are consistently met, we develop a secure attachment and a healthy foundation for emotional regulation. However, if our caregivers are neglectful, abusive, or traumatizing, our nervous system adapts to those conditions by developing unhealthy coping mechanisms. Think of your nervous system like a computer program or software. Just as a software program runs on a computer, our nervous system runs our body. This program is essentially a set of instructions that dictates how we react to the world around us. Our software is developed in childhood based on our experiences, and once it's installed, it runs automatically in the background of our daily lives without us consciously realizing it. When we encounter situations that remind our system of past threats, our program kicks into action, triggering fight, flight, or freeze responses. These reactions may seem irrational or extreme, but they're actually hardwired survival strategies developed to protect us from perceived danger. For example, if your parent was emotionally unavailable, your system may have learned to ignore your own emotions and people please to get attention. If your parent was overly critical, your system may have learned to be hypervigilant, anticipating rejection so you could avoid it. Or, if you experienced physical abuse, your system might have learned to withdraw and become submissive to prevent harm. The problem is that these programs developed for childhood threats often carry over into adulthood where they no longer serve an adaptive purpose. Feeling criticized by a boss may trigger the same fight, flight, or freeze response in you as being yelled at by your father. This is what Gabor Mate refers to as repetition compulsion, the unconscious drive to repeat past experiences, particularly those of early childhood. Our nervous system gets stuck reliving old patterns until we become aware of the underlying wound. Take Maria, the lawyer who couldn't relax and enjoy success. Her perfectionism stemmed from a childhood of criticism that made her crave validation like a drug. Any hint of imperfection triggered shame and anxiety, driving her to work harder and harder. Similarly, David, the artist who struggled with abandonment issues, would become overly attached in relationships. He'd pour all his energy into winning approval, only to sabotage things by getting needy and suffocating. In both cases, their behaviors as adults were a direct result of unhealed wounds from childhood. It's crucial to understand that these patterns aren't conscious choices or character flaws. They're unconscious reactions controlled by the programming of our nervous system. The good news is that just as we can install new software updates on a computer, we can rewrite our nervous system with new patterns of relating. But first, we need to become aware of the old programming running in the background. This is why Gabor Mate says the most important question to ask isn't what's wrong with me, but what happened to me. Awareness of our wounds allows us to shift from blame to compassion. When we understand that our behaviors are a product of our past, not personal failings, we can begin to undo them. For instance, Maria realized that her perfectionism stemmed from her mother's emotional abuse. By confronting this truth with compassion for her younger self, she freed herself from the need for external validation. She started setting boundaries with toxic people and focusing on intrinsic motivation rather than seeking constant approval. Likewise, David discovered that his people-pleasing and codependency came from his father's neglect. Through therapy, he explored the feelings of abandonment he experienced and developed healthier ways of relating to partners. He learned to prioritize his own needs without guilt and found satisfaction outside of romantic approval. Healing these wounds is not about wallowing in self-pity or assigning blame. It's about taking responsibility for becoming the parent you never had. When we face our past with compassion, we can resolve the inner conflicts and fears that have been holding us back. This process can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. As Nelson Mandela wisely said, "Our deepest wounds have the potential to become our deepest strengths. By embracing our pain and working through it, we can discover resilience, empathy, and wisdom we never knew we had." In a nutshell, here are the key takeaways from this video. Your childhood emotional wounds don't have to hold you back in adulthood. By understanding the science of repetition compulsion and nervous system programming, you can recognize how past experiences shape your present reactions. Instead of blaming yourself for problematic behaviors, approach your challenges with curiosity and compassion. Ask yourself, what happened to me? Not what's wrong with me. Dig deep to uncover the unmet needs and traumas of your younger self. Heal those wounds with the love you deserved but didn't receive. Rewrite your internal software by becoming the parent you never had. Set healthy boundaries. Practice self-compassion and take full responsibility for your well-being. As you do this inner work, celebrate your progress and forgive yourself for past mistakes. Every step of healing brings you closer to living a life of joy, freedom, and deeper connection. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and share. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and remember, you matter.